Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Kurth, the founder of Revere, and it's been my side hustle for a few years now, and you'll see why. I love what we do. So, what is skills-based volunteering? I think this crowd pretty much knows what it is, but it is when corporate employees provide their free pro bono expertise to nonprofits, universities across the world. And it can be in a variety of different fields and skills and expertise, anything from HR to marketing to technology, and the list goes on. Revere is a skills-based volunteering SaaS platform, software as a service platform. And this is the most important piece because I know you guys are going to ask, what's our differentiator? I've heard that question a few times. Our differentiator is that we private label for big companies. And so we private label, and it can be private or public for that corporate client. It's a really important differentiator. We've been pretty blessed for a small, tiny little team with these clients. I won't go through, list those. But what we do is three things. Private label, as already mentioned. We provide one-to-one matching for 1 hour, generally 1 hour sessions, and team projects, all impacting direct, measurable social impact. And what this looks like, as you can see here, is that we private label, and everything is personalized. I mean everything. We use the term personalized, not customized. Customized, I've learned in the technology piece, Kevin, is a 4-letter word, so it's personalized. And so we personalize everything, and then when it comes to the one-to-one sessions, it's very straightforward. You can go in and search on skills or a general search. You get a list of the employee volunteers who are most relevant for your search, if you're the nonprofit or if you're a student. As you can see here, Alteryx uses us for the education side, for Mentor Connect with university students. And Autodesk, the other example, is used for nonprofits. There we go. And so what this looks and feels like is that Amy is looking for an expert. Beverly is her choice, most relevant, for a capital campaign. And she may need help in marketing, promotions, finance. And she's going to ask for a session. It's a building block for possibly a future team project. So think of this as a building block. And she can ask in person if she happens to be in the same city, or video call. 99% of what we do is via video. And it's international, as you can see. The platform converts the time zones, because I don't know about you guys, but I have time zone dyslexia. And so it's important that this is an important piece from a UX perspective. And it shows you what the times are that have been selected to make certain that it makes sense, that's not the middle of the night. Amy then gets that, the employee volunteer then gets that request. And what that looks like, in this example, Kendra in the upper right, just got a request from Josh. And so she's going ahead, and she can accept a time, or she can propose new times, up to 3. Or she can go in and decline and say, I forgot to turn off my profile and put it in hiatus mode, or I'm on family leave. Or going back, she's going to go ahead and accept one of those times. Very straightforward. On the team project side, Amy has gone ahead and submitted, she's with Habitat for Humanity, and she's gone ahead and submitted a project application, as you can see in the upper right. That project application can be our default, or it can be API with Qualtrics, SurveyMonkey, and the like, Google Forms. The employee, Ryan, he's applied, he's raised his hand for the Habitat for Humanity project. He's been assigned to it, but he can see the other projects that he's eligible for as well. The admin, the corporate admin, can assign employees in 3 different ways. One, by the fact that the person raised their hand, like Beverly, saying, hey, I want to be part of this. They can assign an employee volunteer directly, Or, this is the important, another differentiator, Revere will suggest the team members based on skills and expertise. And that's what this looks like. So Beverly had raised her hand, as you may remember. So she's been assigned. But then the admin just had lunch with Lisa Burling. And Lisa's like, yeah, that sounds like a great project. Go ahead and sign me up when you get back in the office. And then the third way is what Revere recommends. And as you can see, Kendra was already assigned to another team project, so we can't add her at this time. So we added John. So those are the three ways. Enhancements. Qualtrics API just launched, deployed last month. We are enhancing the platform with AI. Everything has been done. It's really, the matching is phenomenal, and AI is really just going to be an enhancement on what's already really quite excellent. I'm thrilled to say that we will be integrating with CSR Connect and Impact Edge this next year, and we are better together. And so Revere is a vetted and approved partner of Blackbaud. We're in the marketplace. And then in terms of our revenue model, we are a traditional SaaS model with a one-time configuration fee, annual subscription fee based on a range of users, usually thousands, because we're talking big scale. Market validation, our client history, and I'm thrilled to say that I haven't gotten a lot of sleep because we have an RFP due on Monday from not a Fortune 500, a Fortune 5. So that is Revere Software.
Congratulations. Super excited about the integration with CSR Connect.
We are too.
You talked about personalization and the importance of that. And you effectively sit in a marketplace between a nonprofit and their brand and a corporation and their brand. How do you manage branding on both sides of that and bring the value of those brands both directions?
That's a really great question. And we've learned that through the past few years that we've been at this at a very part-time, this has been a side hustle for me and my software engineer. You get the marketing folks involved from the very get-go. At first we thought, oh, it's HR, and it is. It's not just HR, it's marketing, because it is communications. You can build this and they will not come unless you have an effective communications plan. So great question. That is critical to the success.
So do you see it impacting corporations' employee engagement, skills development, or do you see it more as just a volunteer activity?
So for the employee, there is a dopamine hit. They're going to go home on a Friday night and they just got a request from a really cool nonprofit over a capital campaign or a software engineering new endeavor. And they're going to tell their friends on Saturday night, I got this really cool request and I'm going to be part of a team project down the road, you know? So it's a dopamine hit, and it also, strokes one's ego. And it also is skills development. But I would say that the first two, we're human, are actually more evident than the third.
Awesome. I got another really burning question.
Okay.
So when I sit on nonprofit boards, there's this dynamic that oftentimes happens, which is you got a highly functioning nonprofit, very good at what they do, a brand new board member who assumes the nonprofit doesn't know anything about the world because they're in the for-profit space,
right,
and immediately jumps to, let me not listen and understand the problem. Let me just tell you how you do marketing or HR or legal. How does a platform help with that?
Yeah, that's a human behavior. You're right. And I think that does come into the training that we do on the front end of not only the technical training with the admin council and all that, but we literally do offer training to, how to be an effective volunteer and how to be an effective nonprofit. And some of our clients take us up on that because we've learned a thing or two over the years. And others are like, we've got it. And they don't necessarily need or want us to be part of that, but they manage that piece.
I really appreciate the comment around marketing. I mean, not just because I'm a CMO. I'm actually looking at my head of communications who's in the audience here and thinking about all the internal comms that we have to do around employee engagement in general. So obviously there's a lift that the corporation has to do to get
Yes.
people in your system. So, how are they measuring success? How are you enabling them so that your platform is a vertical software platform
Yeah.
that's actually being used?
Yeah. So it is cyclical. I don't need to, share with you. You know that the marketing communication chain. So from the very get-go, we encourage them to come on board and talk about it and create a plan before launch. But then ongoing, there has to be quarterly, and we stress this because we learned the hard way. We did build out some client programs, build it and they don't come. Again, so it goes back to there has to be a quarterly communication. They have all the data, so then it becomes storytelling, success stories of one-on-one and or team projects, and they include that in company newsletters and in Slack, and we help them with that as best we can. We're not marketers, but we will help them, and we also partner with really phenomenal marketing teams that specialize in social impact across the country, and we've worked with just about every one on a project basis where we'll help them with the launch because we don't want to reinvent that wheel. You guys are the experts on that, and this is also why we're really thrilled to partner with you guys, because we've been just sort of doing this as a side hustle, and now we've got all you guys to help us with that too.
That's great. I just want to, really love the mission greater good from your greatest resource. I think that's sharp. So congrats. But curious, as the great resources, what is your vision for redefining employee volunteerism?
Well, I think, skills-based, we were ahead of the curve. Skills-based volunteering has been out there for a while. But when I first heard of it, I was like, well, I assume that is what it sounds like a few years ago. But it's evolving and it's becoming even more critical. And with Gen Z, especially, millennials too, but Gen Z, they want to use their expertise for good. It's more than they're going to give, no threat to employee giving. It's an and they want to provide their expertise because it is that dopamine hit. It is that, hey, a little bit of bragging. I'm on this really cool project that's with a nonprofit in Tanzania, and I'm helping with water reclamation and yada yada yada.
So on the skills based, what's the system of record for those skills? Is it the employee putting the data in themselves, or?
Yeah, so the admin has complete oversight,
Right.
editorial on everything. But yes, the employee is inputting no more than 4 skills. We started with 8. No one is an expert in 8 things.
Any planned integrations with HR systems where companies already have that data?
Yeah, if they have that in place. We haven't had a client with that yet, but we would absolutely. We're very, very, very API friendly. Thank goodness my software guy is great about that.
Then I'm thinking also about the other side of the network. So you're engaged with the corporations. How are you building the network of nonprofits that then consume the data?
We're not. We're relying upon you guys so that you and your friendly competitors and Volunteer Match and Taproot, we're not looking to reinvent that wheel. We will work API once again. Okay. We are tech agnostic when it comes to all of that. We will work with whomever the client wants to work with regarding community engagement and partnership engagement.
You mentioned future integration with us. Does that mean you have integration already with the others?
Not yet.
Okay.
Your largest friendly competitor is not as far along as you guys in saying, hey, we want to partner.
One last question. Do you have like a gamify part of this? Like, is there a leaderboard? Is there something that gets the employees excited about getting on?
Yeah, not yet. We've talked about it, but there hasn't been a lot of client. We follow the client. That's what we've learned over the last few years. So if that is a demand, if that is something they're interested, we're certainly open to that, because especially we can slice and dice it based upon geographical region, business units, where they're competing against each other, that type of thing. But we haven't yet. Great, thank you.